Now, I don't know how much they can help, but I do know that that's a possibility.
Okay, I'll check that out. You don't know how busy I am. Right now, I'm under such pressure to get all the medical records from every hospital he's been in, and they're not giving me all the records, okay?
Yeah.
Well, and that's going to get my, and getting guardianship.
Something about the Freedom of Information Act might help you.
Freedom?
Freedom of Information Act.
Freedom of Information.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might help.
Okay.
I don't know how much, but it's a possibility. Hey,
right.
Anything. Yeah. It wouldn't hurt to try. Yeah. If you can get a hold of the Homemaker Extreme Edition, free home. Okay. It's a Home Makeover Extreme Edition. I guess I'm not saying it right now.
That's all right.
Senior moment, I guess.
Well, there are so many organizations out there, but they've got it's like they're too focused on their agenda and they won't look over. I mean, somebody's worried about the banks, and they should be. I mean, that's certainly the right thing, but that's the villains behind all of this, including the pharmaceutical industries. Thomas Jefferson warned us. If you allow a private bank to issue your money, the banks and the corporations that spring up around it will leave your children homeless in the world, in the land that we conquered. And let's see, Celebrex is one of those drugs, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
One of those psychoactive. There's a 21,712% markup on Celebrex.
Oh, is that something?
And on Norvac, there's 134,493%. And when you get over to Prozac, wow, that's the most profitable of all. Prozac has a 224,973% markup. It costs them 11 cents to make it. They sell it to you, folks, or your insurance company, or your government, for $247.47 per hundred. This is what there is more money in the pharmaceutical, and they have rolled it in and combined the illegal drugs with the illegal drugs, but more people die of legal drugs than do from all the methane, all the meth, all of the cocaine, all of the heroin in the world. And remember, we are protecting the heroin crop. That means we're working directly with the drug dealers now. There ain't even any subterfuge anymore. Get you guys. They want Americans drugged. They did it to the Chinese. The British did it to the Chinese. We helped. Now they are doing it to us. And whether it's the Chinese, whether it's the Jews, whether it's the doctors out there, it's the legislators out there. 10 years ago, folks, you couldn't advertise Prozac and the psychoactive drugs on television. Today, because they control the television, man, we're fed, and they're glamorizing cocaine. They're keeping us exactly right, Haya. Drugged and poor. They're keeping us drugged and poor, and divide and conquer. Man, what do you got in your pocket, son? You're gonna go to jail. Man, that is a police state, folks.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm working on a new book, except it's not quite new. I wrote it 40 years ago about what the United States would be like if we abolished all laws against victimless crimes. And I'll bring that back out again probably first of this next year. And it's folks, it's really what we need to do. The war on drugs was the first war on the American people. The war on terror is the second war on the American people. I've told people, you got more chance of getting eaten by a great white in Phoenix than you do getting killed by a terrorist in Texas. You know, just ain't going to happen. And there's not, but they're trying to make people like me, people like the Tea Parties, people like Richard Mack, you know, into some kind of terrorist. Even Larry Pratt, they tried to say Larry Pratt was a bigot. Hell, he's not even. He's married to a lady from Central America. Ain't exactly a racist. And you know, Donna, I know you're stressed. And we are still trying to do this. I'm trying to get out there. I'm trying to reach into the public. I've got calls in right now to radio, television, interview report. We've got the answers. The place for Mark would be to go to a Liberty Village with holistic healers there and get among normal people. Hey, look, I tell you what, man, I've been thrown in a mental institution, and there was a lot of crazy people in there.
I know. You want to hear something?
I wasn't one of them, but, you know, even the police apologized. We have to do this, Mr. Douglas. We have to do this. But you know, as soon as you talk to a psychiatrist, they're going to let you go. They're going to let you go, and they did. But go ahead. Go ahead, Donna.
I've been in the institutions and sat and watched people there. And to be quite honest with you, most of them aren't crazy. They've drugged them to make them look like they're nuts, okay? And let me share something else with you. I met a dentist, a hygienist there, and they locked her up just because her roommate complained about her. They threw her in there. First time she ever been thrown in there and drugged. Now, here's what's going on. You're getting complaints from somebody. They want to go down and mark a complaint that you're crazy. They'll come pick you up.
Yeah, my son's got me put into a mental institution. I woke up one night and my son was standing in my bed and said, "Sorry, Dad."
Mm-hmm.
And after spending 12 hours in there, before I got to see a psychiatrist, when I did see a psychiatrist, they told my son he needed counseling.
Mm-hmm.
But
exactly.
I was one of the lucky ones. I was one of the lucky ones.
Clay, I need help, and I think I will do what she says, check on these places that she gave me to look up there. And I will do that, ma'am. I will.
Okay, now, folks, we've got 300 people watching this on Blog TV. You can go to freeamerican.com. You can make a donation to clay@freeamerican.com if you want that to go to Donna. Whatever you send me and whatever you send Donna, it helps. I mean, every little bit helps. It costs money to do this show. It costs money to have all the internet sites set up. It costs money to have all of the books published and printed. And we've got them. We've got them, folks. We've got them right here. And you can order those, you can make a donation, and you can start helping. I mean, the way they rule us is by consensus.
Yeah.
They rule by consensus. So if you sit there and keep your mouth shut, they're going to railroad through whatever they want. And the healthcare situation ain't going to get better. Mark is the tip of the iceberg right now.
Yep.
He's the tip of the iceberg because they're going after families.
Yeah.
And if you're not breathing into the phone, Donna, you've got somebody tapping your phone again. There it goes. It's stopped now, you idiot. Whoever you are tapping into these phones, go get a job. Go get a real job.
Well, they're trying to make me look guilty. That's what they're trying to do. But, you know, I was on a call the other night, and I was listening, and I put it on the speakerphone, and it sounded like there was somebody breathing at my end. But it was a man. It seemed like to me it was a man breathing. Okay?
Yeah, it seems like that. Now, have you, ladies suggest I would call the police and tell them your son is being held hostage? And I'm sure you've tried that because I've recommended that to you before. What happens if you try to do something like that?
They'll throw you in there. it happened to my daughter-in-law. She complained about being beat up and turned somebody in, and they locked her up.
Interesting. I said they would just say, you know, we got he's held here by a court order, and that makes you guilty if you try to go break him out.
Yep. That's right.
So the only answer is the attorney.
The attorney, and if people would go ahead and contact the Denver governor's office and whoever that is now.
311 people. Folks, write a friggin' letter. Do something. Do something. I mean, you guys sit there, you hear about this, and here's what you have a tendency to do. Oh, Clay Douglas, he's that old radical, he's that old hippie, he's this, he's this racist, he's anti-Semitic, he's anti-government. You know, yeah, I hear all that. And this radio station, dude, is on freeamerican.com. I'm blocked in libraries. It's hard to get me. It's hard to find me sometimes, but you can get it. If you still got a little bit of freedom, you can go to freeamerican.com. You can hear the show. You can hear the other shows that I've done. And you can read the whole story about Donna and her son that I wrote for Veterans Today.
You know what? I'm gonna tell anybody that lives in Denver, Colorado. Clayton, they go through you. Anybody that lives in Denver wants to come to Denver and see Mark, see that I'm telling the truth. As long as they go through you, Clayton, and you approve them, they're welcome to come down and visit my son.
Yes.
Okay.
I can arrange everything, and folks, let's see, you know, the danger to me, the danger from me for these globalist assholes is that I am not into dogma. I can't be pressured by the church. I can't be pressured by the Masons. I can't be pressured by nobody. And I am doing this, and I have a YouTube account. I have this method. This show will be on YouTube this afternoon. You can tell everybody about it. You can tell everybody. It's Clay Douglas on YouTube. I'm pretty sure, or Free American. One of the two will get you. And we'll have this up. And the show will be up on my website within an hour after the show. freeamerican.com. They don't want you to see me. They're scared to death of me, and they should be, because, folks, I will help lead us out of this, you know?
Yep.
And the reason Mark had a moment of freedom, a little moment of freedom, is because I got involved and found the lawyers to help. And I will stay on Wesley and try to ascertain what is going on here.
Yep.
I'll write about it, folks. I'll write about it, and I'm going to be writing about it from the underground. If you see something about the underground Free American, well, that's what we are. Since we're not on Barnes & Noble and Books A Million shelves anymore, we've got to do something else. Yeah, I'm sure the FBI is listening to all online stations, lady. I'm sure that they are. And I encourage that, because you know what? There ain't no difference between me and your FBI agent. We both took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Folks, that's what I'm trying to do. I don't need a badge. I don't need to be sworn in, you know. And keep in mind, the FBI listed me in Guide to Right-Wing Extremist a few years back. And I later walked into their office and gave them all a copy of my magazine. Every agent in the building, I gave a copy of my magazine to them. And I walked out. So I am not a criminal. Yes, I started the militias around the country, but I did it in the governor's office. I did it with the governor. The militia worked for the government. The militia is the people, and the governor was our governor. That was Gary Johnson, and you ought to vote him in for president. He's younger and maybe a little bit less connected to the Masons than Ron Paul. I still like Ron Paul. He still says the right things, but he's been in Congress too long, and Congress hasn't turned anything around. They haven't turned anything around. And this is why you got people in the streets. This is why you got these protests. This is why you got the Tea Parties. This is why you got... And they're unfocused, too. They don't know exactly what the problem is. The problem is the banks and the corporations that have sprung up around them, man. We got to stop eating the Monsanto crap, and we got to stop taking these Pfizer pharmaceuticals.
Right. And you need to help people that are in situations like Mark. Because you get us out and get us healthy, we may have to come back and help you because there's only a few of us that understand what's going on.
Well, I'm going to be doing a story about you, and the medical industry is also attacking one of my advertisers and one of my friends, one of my fellow shows, Chris Key. He has invented and is marketing pain patches and wristbands that help you, make you healthier, and improve your performance. And he is being attacked. He's being sued for perfectly legal products, and they are banning athletes from even speaking out for him. So that's again, that's what I need to do, folks. Here, I need to be able to spend more time getting Donna's information out there, telling people about Mark, telling people about Edgar Steele, and I've just got a new link up. I'll put a new link up for Edgar Steele here this afternoon, and hopefully Wesley is doing the right thing for Edgar, who's been a friend of mine for years and years and years, and Donna and Mark here. But we need your help too. You know, make a $20 donation. Make a phone call. You know, my phone numbers, I'm easy to access, man. My phone numbers and my cell numbers are up on every website. I don't think you can do that on Alex Jones. And by the way, has Alex Jones, has John Stadmiller, has GCN or Republic Broadcasting Network got this information out to all of their subscribers, all of their people? Why not, Donna? Why not?
I think that's part of them.
Gas? You mean controlled opposition? Is that why Alex never talks about the Israelis in a negative manner?
He don't take anything that he don't want on there. Okay.
I just met at the Occupy Tucson. I just met a Jewish refugee from Romania, from communist Romania.
Yeah.
I've invited him on for my. I've invited him on to my show because I don't think he's a Zionist, but he is Jewish, and he is, and he was under communism, and so I invited him on my show. You know, to me, if you don't know both sides of the story, folks, then you're a blind man in a room with an elephant trying to figure out what the hell it is.
You know, I think this happened a long time ago, this whole thing, because my grandpa was told he was German. All my life I was told he was German. He escaped from Russia with my grandmother, and most of his family was murdered over there. So they never took out who they really were. And when I found out through the genealogy things, I found out both grandparents were Indian on both sides and Jewish. So I've been lied to all my life that I was told I was a German. Okay? So people, there's a lot of lies going on out there. Okay? And my grandparents were scared to say who they were because they murdered their whole families. It can go that way too. So those people calling themselves Jews
are not.
We were told aren't. They probably aren't, really.
They aren't.
Well, they are or they aren't, but what kind of a Jew? A Jew that's going to hurt people, or a Jew that loves the Lord? There's a difference, and knows who God is, Jesus. Because my grandpa, he always read the Bible to me and taught me how Jesus loves me. So even though he came out of Russia, and I'm told I was German all my life, in all essence, they covered themselves and said a lie. And implanted it in my grandpa that way, too. To not say who he was. But I found out later, Clay. I found out later the truth, and I just found out after 60 1 year of my life, I found out different. So, and my grandpa and grandma were good people, good God-fearing people. Guess what they did for a living?
What?
Beet pickers. Beet. They had a beet farm.
Well, you know what? I mean, I think that's where the world revolution is going for the next century is, and folks, if you don't follow these instructions, if you don't go back and create a Liberty Village, if you don't become self-sufficient, if you can't make your house stand up on its own without the power cords, without the gas lines, without everything, then you're a slave. You might as well just check into the prisons. They'll take care of you. They'll feed you. They'll feed you, man. That's it. That's it. That's just working. The prisons are now slave labor camps, and that's the only. That's the only difference between what's happening to Mark and not. He's not quite. They're not using him for slave labor. They're just using him to keep him drugged. And I'd be real interested to see what his insurance and hospital and Social Security's been paying these bastards for holding him.
Yeah, and guess what? The Social Security office is under their dilemma too, because when I was in Arizona, the Social Security guy couldn't shut off his checks. I said, "Well, cut his checks off." Well, I can't do that because they're under the drug company. The drug company owns the Social Security office, I guess.
I mean, you've got a right to know what his medical records are. You've got a right to know this, and the newspapers and television stations should be following you around and filming these people in the office. That's what they would be doing. That's what they would be.
You would think so.
I would think so. I would think so. And we're going to see if we.
I'm going to tell you, this is worse than the day he was shot, Clay. This long-term crap and emotional stuff that they put on people and drugging people and hurting them and abusing him. Let me tell you something. This is worse than the day he was shot. Seriously. At least the day I know he was shot, that God was going to pull him through it. But this has been a long-term, Clay, long-term of abuse and imprisonment.
Repeat that. You just broke up.
No, I hear you.
It's worse. It's worse. It's because the accident wasn't nothing for me. I survived. I had a few bruises, a few broken bones, and that was it. It was the drugging for 3 months. There's no memory of 3 months. To this day, my cousin won't talk to me because I didn't recognize him. I didn't know he was there.
Mm-hmm. The first thing is to pit families against each other. And then they've won. They've won your family over to their side.
All right, listen, we're almost out of time here, folks, so let me do this. Donna Taylor has been my guest today. The show's up on TalkShoe. It's up on Blog Talk. It's up on Blog TV. It'll be up on YouTube. Let's get some busy here. Their whole thing is to divide and conquer, and they want to keep us poor. You can help by making a donation today. Keep me on the air. Let me keep people like Donna in front of you. People like Edgar Steele. All of this is going to be up on my website now, and
call recording has been completed.
We're out of here.
God bless you. Hey, Ann, can you call when you have time?
Huh? Okay.
When you have,
Okay, and thank you for introducing me to Pam. The show is now being broadcast on her networks. We're going to be working on getting the books up and getting more information out. I ain't slowing down, folks. We're going to do a column called From the Underground that'll be talking about all of this and more. So God bless you all. Donna, thank you very much, dear. I'll be in touch.
yes, blessings.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. Okay. Okay. Come on, you sucker. Work. Donna, you there? Are you there?
Hello?
Okay, I got you now.
Okay. That's cool. So if you can get a hold of Wesley to find out what he's going to do, what he's not going to do, if he please help me get the guardianship.
Okay, hold on just a second now. Let me see this.
Yeah, I mean,
Hang on.
I trusted that he was going to help because, you know, now he's like, I don't know what he's doing, but I need to be guardian so I can find somebody to help me. That's the least he could do.
Okay. Let's see.
I gotta go clear downtown. I need to get a hold of him. Am I making a trip clear downtown to get my own court papers to file it? It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. But let's see. Just stay with me here. Let me get this done. I'm tightening up my shows here, and I'm still recording here. And let me.
I mean, he's been so busy for 2 or 3 weeks he can't talk to me. He's visited the case. He's got a time limit of getting it in there.
I know.
Immediately.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. But where's my time? 0. He didn't tell me he was jumping off the case. You know? Is it a money factor or is it a fear factor? I want to know what's going on.
I don't know. And I'm somehow I'm
I
not.
wish you were here with me. I wish you were down here with me. Oh my God, I wish. I know my son would keep you there at his house. Todd, he has a room. He wouldn't charge you anything for you coming down. Clay, he wouldn't charge you anything.
Well, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
My computer is so friggin' slow here. Let's try this.
It's all right. Good morning, Windows 7.
Hello, is